So we'll restart or resume whatever we were talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So when I said, why are we talking so much on sampling? Because see, when I said you will draw a research design and then you will think all about the study. But then when it comes to data collection, I need to see if I should study the system. What is the criteria of the study? Supposing I say stress level of students and online education, right? If I say stress level is going up because students are constantly sitting on the students are constantly sitting before the computer and then they are concentrating. So obviously I feel stress level is going up, etc. But I want to prove this fact or disprove this fact. One of the objectives is there. So obviously when I prove it, I need to collect data on students sitting before computers, students sitting before iPad and then listening to the lecture. But then when I collect the data, how will I collect the data? I cannot practically study all the students. There are school students, there are college students, MCOM students, CA students, everybody sits before. Everybody is a student enrolled in some course. In case I enroll for some course and I listen to lectures, I am also a student here, right? So there are so many students, and so I say that I will go in for a sample study because it will help me in completing my study on time, right? So timely completion of study has to be ensured. So I'm going to select some elements of the population. Everybody who sits before the computer listening to lectures constitute the population, or sometimes even called as universe. Most of the time we use the term population. But then from that population, I can draw some samples and then survey them, right? So this is when I talk about when it comes to data collection, I am going to collect from sample and then see what is going to happen. That is why we say sampling is an important concept when it comes to research. So how will I decide the size of the sample? Size of the sample is going to be depending on population variability. Number of students sitting before the computer based on their age. Stress level varies at different age. Smaller children have 30-minute class. Primary children have 30-minute class. Secondary children have 40-minute class, and you all will have 50-minute to 1 hour lectures, right? We had 1.5 hours. In a day, we had up to 2.5 hours session. Now we have reduced it to 2 hours, right? So we are going to decide based on your age, population variability, and then statistical issues. So how much can be collected? How much do you actually need? What is the size of the population? What is the size of the sample? And economic factors, both in terms of available resources, both in terms of money and both in terms of time. And then availability of participants. I should have people should be willing to participate. They should be willing to respond. And how important is the problem? If it is very, very important, very, very critical at this time, crucial at this time, I will study more sample size. Or if it is not all that, say 100, etc., will be enough. So now, basically, there is a formula also to collect sample size. I have not written the formula here because that is beyond your level. Merits and demerits of sampling method of data collection. Methods using which we can get samples below are given its merits and demerits on the whole. Merits of sampling are, it is less time consuming. Where there are 1,000 units, 1,000 elements in a population, if I study only 500, I can save time by not studying those 500 and making these itself a representative one. And organizational convenience, I can organize it very easily. How to study? If I've collected 100, if I need 100 sample, if I've collected 100, I am done with it, right? I can easily organize and I can have a detailed inquiry. An absence of being representative is again a defect here. But then what happens is small universe, small population. I mean, the sample itself is a small universe, but each sampling method has its own defects. Inherent defects means inbuilt defects. Like convenient sampling may not be representative. Before that, I would like to mention one more thing. I will share my whiteboard and then you can copy that. I say snowball sampling, very, very important one, which I couldn't actually, I forgot to include. Whiteboard. Now, this is a very, very important source of data. Meena ka connect nahi ho raha hai. See, I mean, if she sends me a request, I can definitely approve. Snowball sampling kya hai? Quite often you will come across it. It's a very, very popular method now. See, when I want to know how many people have become jobless here during this COVID situation, people have lost their jobs. People don't have income, right? So I want to find out how many people actually lost their jobs here. So what has happened? I am going to find out a particular, supposing I am going to survey a particular area. I will ask people, have you lost your job? But then through word of mouth, they will say, I have lost my job. So has my neighbor. So what will I do? I will go and survey the neighbor. I will ask him, do you know anybody else who has lost their job? Can you share their details with me? Do you understand? So from one person to another, one person is giving me the information about another person. I'm going and surveying that person. Are you following? This is called as snowball sampling. Any doubts so far? Did you understand? I want to find out how many people have lost their jobs during this COVID situation. So what I will do is I will go to one particular locality. I will find out somebody who has lost his or her job. I will ask him, have you lost your job? What were you earning? All these details I will collect. I will ask him, do you know anyone who has also lost his or her job? And then he will come out with the details of somebody who has lost his or her job. And I will go and ask that person, interview that person, inquire that person, or survey that person. Well, what were you earning? What job did you lose? Since when are you jobless, etc. And then I'll ask him, do you know anybody else who has lost the job? Right? So this is what is called as snowball sampling. From one person, I am getting information and I'm asking, and I'm going and surveying that person. That is called as snowball sampling. Very, very important. Kindly make a note of this. It is not there in the PPT. So we'll just have a recap of whatever we saw today. Today we were seeing about what is sampling, what is population, how is sampling different from population, what are the merits of sampling, what are the different types of sampling, random sampling, and some techniques of non-random sampling. We also saw the merits and demerits of each and every technique. And apart from that, we also spoke about what are the how is a sample size determined. Any doubts so far? Sampling is a very vast topic. There are different types of sampling. And there is one more thing called cluster sampling, which I'll just mention. Cluster sampling is where you divide the entire population into different units in different clusters, and then you are going to survey at multi-stage sampling. Now, stratified random sampling is partly random sample, wherein you are dividing it strategically. You are dividing the population into strata based on different criteria. And random at random you are picking up some units of the sample. This is called as stratified random sampling. And then cluster sampling, again it is not there in my PPT. I will say cluster sampling. Supposing I want to find out the food habits of people residing in India. So what I will do, I will divide the India into different states. Each state into different districts. Each districts into multi-stage. Each district into different taluks, panchayats, etc. And her state may say, as I say, every taluk may say, if there are 20 taluks in a particular village, I will take 5. And particular 5 villages, 5 taluks, all these at random I'll be doing. I hope you understand. Supposing I say, I want to find out how many hours of study do graduate students put in, right? The students pursuing graduation. So what I will do, I will be dividing the total number of graduation students based on different colleges in different states. So from each college, and then I will be dividing it into different years in each college. So from first year and different streams. So when I say at random, first year say I will take 5 students. Second year say I will take say 5 students. Then third year is left out because I took only 2 out of 3 at random. And from some other college, I'm going to select 5 colleges at random, 5 states at random, and so on. Did you understand? So every stage I'm following a random way of sampling. Are you following? Can you type it out in the chat box? If you're following, if you're not following, multi-stages, I'm dividing the total population into different clusters. And every stage, I'm dividing them into different groups. And at random, studying 2 or 3 groups. Under that groups also at random, I'm selecting some people to be studied or some elements to be studied. This is what is called dividing it into different stages, and at each stage I am doing a random sampling and studying the random sample. So we saw different types of sampling: random, non-random. Random means simple random sampling. Then we saw about non-random sampling. Random sampling is also called as probability sampling, where each and every element has equal probability of being studied. Non-random, you have a predefined criteria for selecting the samples to be studied. So now when I say random and non-random sampling, it is going to be stratified random sampling is semi-random sampling. Cluster sampling, where again it is going to be semi-random sampling. Then we studied convenience sampling, non-random sampling. Then we spoke about snowball sampling. Then we spoke about other techniques like, I think that's all we spoke about. These are the very important ones. Then we studied about what are the merits and demerits of each method of sampling, each technique of sampling. And then we studied about what are the merits of sampling. Then we also spoke about what is the difference between a population study and a sampling research study. So with that, we will wind up the sampling. Next class, I'll start with data collection, which is next week. But the next 2 classes, we will be doing IVF.